Hi, and welcome back to Who's Gamer. So, I'm on IMDb and I'm looking at Star Wars Episode 9 to see if there's any more news. And I'm going through and I've noticed one element that I haven't noticed before, and this Chris Terrio. So, I clicked on his name and I wanted to see who he is and what he's done, where did his work come from. And I was really shocked to see this because his writing credits in terms of science fiction so far are Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Justice League. And I'm really shocked and astonished of what Disney are doing. Disney are hiring a writer who's previously written two science fiction movies that have so far failed. And I was going to go in a bit more detail. Okay, so we've got some more detail, and the first film is Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice. Now, this review is from IMDb, so the overall review of 6.5 out of 10, which isn't great by any means. The Force Awakens is around 9, so the reviews aren't great. And also the revenue. The revenue is, you have to remember that The Force Awakens was $2 billion. So that shows that there is a huge demand for science fiction movies, big blockbuster science fiction movies. So if we've got $2 billion, this is less than half of what The Force Awakens achieved. So why would you want this? Why would you want a writer who's made a movie, a huge budget movie, that makes less than half of what Force Awakens makes? Now this is the following movie, Justice League. Again, the reviews are great, not great, sorry. But again, the revenue has fallen. We're now down to 657 million. Now again, The Force Awakens made 2 billion. So we're now talking a third of what The Force Awakens made. Where is the logic? I want to focus on the logic. Okay, you have a movie, The Force Awakens, that makes $2 billion. You then go and hire a writer who makes big budget movies, science fiction movies, that make less than a third of The Force Awakens. This is not logic. This is looking for failure. Instead of logic, we're looking for failure. £657 million for a Star Wars movie will be considered a failure, and we know that through the proof that Force Awakens made $2 billion. So why would you want to bring this on board? If you're LucasArts, why would you want to bring a writer on board who's making movies that make a third of your Force Awakens? That is not success. This is not logical. This shows the lack of knowledge and even common sense that LucasArts have. Now, what I want to show here is these movies are kind of like ensemble movies. You have characters Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman in the Batman vs Superman. In the Justice League, you have more ensembles. You have Batman, the Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and the Cyborg. So what it appears is that LucasArts have identified this writer as someone who can write ensemble movies. That's not a justification of why to employ somebody, because you want someone who's got results. It's a results game. It's not about bringing different characters together. Now, what it might show is that in episode 9, they want to bring in lots of different characters, maybe new characters that we haven't seen before. And they want to end episode 9 as a launching pad for episode 10, because we know Disney want to continue making movies because movies can make a lot of money. They don't want to end at episode 9, and considering they paid $4 billion to George Lucas for LucasArts, and they need to make $4 billion before they can even start to make a profit. And they're not going to do it by getting these results. These are not the results that Star Wars should be associating itself with. If this writer made movies that are made over $1 billion, that's fine. That shows he's able to write movies that are in demand and people want to watch. But that isn't what these numbers show. These numbers do not show demand. They do not show success. If you had, let's say for example, the Harry Potter writers, they made hugely successful movies, so that suggests that they can write movies that people want to watch. This doesn't show that. This shows that this writer writes movies that are almost mediocre in terms of box office success. So if LucasArts is a business and their role is to make a profit, they're a business. That is the aim. That is the number one aim of every single business, is to make a profit. They're going to make less profit with these results, considering they made $2 billion with The Force Awakens. So what is the logic behind hiring this writer There is no logic. I made a video yesterday discussing the lack of logic behind the posters and how they're starting to look terrible. The logic, even common sense, is being thrown out the window so we can bring in failure, and it just shows how poorly LucasArts is being run. It is terrible, and I would not be surprised if Episode 9 is in between these figures. If Episode 9 comes in at $750 million, I will not be surprised at all. I can really see it.